Hello guys, today in this video, we are going to help you to find out the best gaming laptop in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 5. Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. There is a more expensive RX 6800S configuration on offer, but it's not going to fix the performance under ray tracing conditions, and we were still getting some excellent performance out of our 6700S. That means the cheaper option is our go-to for the G14, especially considering you're still getting the same Ryzen 9 6900HS CPU whirring away under the hood as well. The Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 long reigned over the slimline gaming laptop world. It was one of the first easily portable machines, built with a form factor that respected your backpack and your desktop. 2022 heralds in a new AMD future for this fan favorite, and despite some thermal concerns and ray tracing throttling, the G14 is all the more impressive for it. That's a serious amount of power to pack into this super small form factor after all, and we managed to squeeze some impressive numbers out of this compact design as well. While it does feel built for 1080p, we were getting some excellent scores in Firestrike and in-game benchmarking considering the stress this machine is under. Metro Exodus was flying at high settings, hitting 82 frames per second consistently, and the Division 2 managed to hold on to 78 frames per second in ultra settings as well. Not only that, but the new 1610 display was a sight to behold. Crisp and clean, the extra height offered in the display was easily welcomed over the cramped-feeling Alienware and Razer offerings. You'll also find an improved LED display running along the back, with sharper customizable animations for an extra personal edge. Number 4. Asus TUF-F15. The Asus TUF-F15 manages to pack some incredible graphics into a much smaller MSRP than you'd usually find because it sacrifices a little processing power. That i7-11370H processor will remain whichever configuration you choose, but it chugs along nicely and we never experienced any slowdown during everyday play on medium settings. Not only that, but this spec also sends you home with a 1TB SSD, 16GB RAM, and a 240Hz display to boot. If you're looking to grab an RTX 30 series card but don't want to break too far past $1,000 £1,000, the Asus TUF-F15 is going to be your best bet. In our testing, we found this budget-friendly machine to charge through even some of the more demanding titles as if it sat in a much higher price bracket, despite the weaker 4-core i7-11370H processor at the helm. Plus, you're still getting the super slimline form factor that has proven so popular over the last couple of years. The key here is that you can outfit it with the full 11th generation i7 1TB 32GB RAM suite of turbo power, or you can pick up a more conservative spec for a little less cash. That means you won't need to spend on high-end gear that you might not even get to use if you're running less demanding titles. We were particularly impressed by how well those more power-hungry components played together in a cheaper chassis. We didn't notice any overheating issues here, and while we did have to make some sacrifices to more demanding titles, we still managed to hit 60 FPS plus on an RTX 3070 with consistency. We also tested an RTX 3060 unit and found similar performance levels when dropping a few sliders down a fraction as well, which means you're sorted at all ends of the budget here. As of CES 2022, there is a new Asus TUF-F15 on the way, featuring a larger touchpad, 12th generation Alder Lake processor, and a new cooling system. However, pricing and release date information is still unknown. Number 3. Alienware M15R7. Alienware M15R7, RTX 3060, Intel i7-12700H. At Dell we tested the Alienware M15R7 with an RTX 3070 Ti GPU at the helm, but considering that configuration comes in at over $2,000 right now, you're getting solid value for money with this RTX 3060 build. You're still getting that uber-powerful 12th generation processor, and 16GB DDR5 RAM in here. We've opted to keep the 360Hz panel we tested in this build, It's only $100 more for the luxury, and it really was an impressive display, well worth the cash. The Alienware M15R7 is here to bring the now mid-range line of luxury laptops into 2022's standards. With Intel's new 12th generation processors and Nvidia's TGPUs at the helm, there's some serious power up for grabs here. While prices are looking a little higher than those of the predecessor, you're getting enough new tech under the hood to warrant the splurge. We were blown away by the performance of this machine. Our test unit featured an i7-12700H processor and an RTX 3070 Ti graphics card, and was easily sailing through our benchmarks and stress tests. This beast didn't even flinch at heavier titles like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Metro Exodus, offering up 76 frames per second in RDR2's Ultra settings, and 72 frames per second with all RTX set to max in Metro Exodus. Those are settings that would make the uber-expensive RTX 3080 Ti Razer Blade 15 sweat. However, it's worth noting that this machine is built purely for power. It's a stocky design, and a particularly heavy one at that. The charging brick alone nearly runs the full length of the keyboard. So no, this isn't going to be a gaming laptop you'll easily throw into a backpack, and those fans can certainly scream. But if you're looking for an all-rounder that can level with machines far pricier than itself, these are easy sacrifices to make. Number 2. Dell G15. Dell G15, RTX 3050, Intel i5-11260H. At Dell, the Dell G15 works best when it's super cheap, which is why this entry-level RTX 3050 configuration is our favorite. Those on the hunt for a rig designed for lighter gaming and the odd Apex Legends session will find great value here, without needing to break the bank on gaming laptops over $800. The Dell G15 isn't going to light the world of the best gaming laptops on fire, but it is at least a dependable choice of gaming companion. Performance in both gaming and general tasks is good considering the price point, and all the features we've come to expect from gaming laptops are present and accounted for, apart from that bank-busting price tag. You'll often find these models on sale with RTX 3050, RTX 3050 Ti graphics cards for well under $1,000, sometimes as low as $699.99. The appearance of this laptop could be a point of contention, though, as we found the chassis to feel a bit old-fashioned for 2022. A dark iridescent finish and thick central hinge feel like throwbacks to a forgotten age of tech design that should perhaps have stayed in the past. The G15 also runs fairly hot when playing more graphically demanding titles, although not to a worrying extent. We've certainly reviewed laptops with noisier fans than this. As it stands, the G15 is a great all-rounder, ideal as a gift for a kid looking to break into PC gaming or the office employee consigned to remote working and playing. Number 1. Razer Blade 15. Razer Blade 15, RTX 3080 Ti, Intel i9-12900H. At Razer, this is the best gaming laptop on the market right now, but you're going to be spending a lot to get it. If you've got the budget to play with, we'd really recommend going to the top of this spec and packing an RTX 3080 Ti GPU with an i9-12900H processor and helping it all shine with a 144Hz 4K display. Of course, there are cheaper models out there, but if we're really talking about the best of the best, this is where you should start your benchmarks. That we got our hands on a beast of a Razer Blade 15, but it showed us just how powerful gaming laptops can be these days. The RTX 3080 Ti i9-12900H configuration I had on my desk was a true monster in its performance. However, this rig's ability to offer such performance while keeping the slimline chassis we've all come to know and love really cemented its top spot among the best gaming laptops on the market. Of course, this is no cheap machine. The 2022 Razer Blade 15 starts at $2,499.99 for an RTX 3060 configuration. You're certainly paying for this luxury name here, but if you're on the hunt for one of the most technically capable machines in one of the most portable form factors, the cash is well invested. That does mean this isn't necessarily the best gaming laptop for everyone. Those playing lighter games won't need the horsepower on offer here, and if you're just after a machine you can sign into every now and then, you won't get solid value by going all out. However, if you're interested in a top-of-the-range rig, our testing speaks for itself. I managed to run Shadow of the Tomb Raider at 74 frames per second in 4K with everything turned up to 11 here. While more demanding titles still struggled in that UHD resolution, though, I was still impressed with the 60+ FPS in 1440p on Red Dead Redemption 2 as well as the 78 frames per second in the same resolution on The Division 2. I only needed to drop some more taxing visual effects to hit higher frame rates in 4K, and everything looked incredible while doing so. You can't beat the Razer Blade 15 for performance, component horsepower, and portability. After all, the only other machines offering RTX 3080 Ti graphics cards at the time of writing still can't compete with that 4K 144Hz display for the price.